to Lord Fussington's walkthrough of the critically acclaimed game Demon's Souls. I'm your walkthrough master, Lord Fussington, and this is part 3 of Pure White World Tendency events, the part after part 2 and the final part in the 3-part series of videos on Pure White World Tendency and their events. So as you can see, I'm wearing the Gloom armor set, which is not only aesthetically pleasing but also grants plague resistance. Very helpful in this area because the swamp causes plague. It's easy to contract plague from the swamp because the swamp has plague, and to counter plague you would wear armor or wear a ring that grants plague resistance. So, you know, it's not interesting or new, but it is accurate. So go down here. Obviously I took the helm and the gloves off because I'd like to roll with the bitches in the back, and we're going to go kill those depraved ones that are worshipping. I'm not sure what they're worshipping because Maiden Astria is dead. I stabbed her in the face. So that's a backstab. To perform a backstab, you basically get in front of the enemy and stab them. Brilliant. Just absolutely brilliant. In front of the enemy. That's the backstab because it's back. Anyway, see, I always explain how to do it, and it's, you know, just recently I've realized how obvious it is. You know, I was just sat in my room thinking about backstabs, and I realized that explaining how to do the backstab is sort of ridiculous. So I was mocking also explaining a joke makes a joke much less funny as well, but I think it really works well with the rest of the videos. Let's get back on track. One of the Pure White World Tendency events is Garl Vinland. As you can see, I've been fighting him for about 30 seconds now. He appears in Black Phantom form. He's pretty much like his body form version, which is a little bit redundant in a way, but body form is a term, so I have to put anyway, it's not really important. To kill Garl Vinland, or at least the way I do it, he's stronger, by the way, just keep that in mind, the Black Phantom version. The way I do it is, well, let me start with Garl Vinland. I bait him, and then I roll out of his attack. He smashes the Bramd into the ground, and then I, in turn, slash him in the face, or the body, or the shoulder. Well, that's part of the body, I guess. Or mainly, I just don't slash him in the legs because that would be. It's actually just difficult to hit his legs, or else maybe that's what I would do. And if I was maybe a shorter character, I'd also. But you don't really have a height. You don't really have much of a height control. They're pretty much all of a similar height. You can change it a little bit, but not really. And it's more like... Anyway, none of this is really important. What is important is what happens when you kill Black Phantom Garl Vinland. He dies. And he also drops Bramd, as well as the Crest of Vinland. Bramd, of course, is a useless weapon to everyone but Garl Vinland, and the Crest of Vinland can be given to Selen Vinland, which is his sister, who is looking for her brother, who we've killed. But, you know, we'll just give her the crest. And she'll give you, I don't remember what she gives you. She gives you a ring of devout prayer, I think. Yeah, I think it's the ring of devout. Yeah, it makes sense. It would have to be. It is the ring of devout prayer. Okay, so that's what she'll give you. Of course, she also only appears in Pure White World Tendency along with her Black Phantom form brother. And, right, so to kill him, like I said, just bait him into attacking you. He'll smash the ground. You have enough time to slash him at least twice. I always try to keep at least a little bit of stamina in case I need to roll away. You shouldn't really be blocking. Like, even this fight I should be using a two-handed weapon. It quickens the pace, after all. And it's really about baiting him and rolling out of the way and then attacking. or walking out, or just kind of walking before his attack, walking backwards before his attack actually hits the ground, which is generally what I've been doing. Like so, right? And then you actually get into so now he's pretty much continuously attacking. So you get into a bit of a groove, and it's quite, he's quite easy actually, and he doesn't go past that little area there. I mean, he's stuck, so it's perfect. As you can see, he hasn't been moved. You can also do this with homing soul arrow. I've done it. You just gotta time it properly so that he doesn't block it, but it's pretty much the same bait, dodge, attack kind of method. I don't recommend bow and arrows or well, fire does work, it just takes really long time. I've done fire as well. Melee is, to me anyway, one of the best. A good two-handed weapon to use, Murden Hammer, is very good for this, because you can just poke at him constantly, then bait him. Well, you bait him, you poke at him, and you use a two-handed. It's really good. Obviously, the Dragon Bone Smasher is another sort of depends, because you don't want to hit the ceiling, basically, right? You want to, so maybe R1 or something would be better with the Dragon Bone Smasher. Anyway, it's not. The reason I go shield and sword here is because I'm maintaining the playthrough, the play style that I've used throughout the walkthroughs. But there are plenty of methods to kill him. Just don't get hit, and it's all about baiting, and it's really easy, so don't worry about him too much. Worst case scenario, if you're really concerned about whether or not you're going to die, if you can get second chance, of course. Just make sure you're mobile, and if you're also, you can always use a shield if you're still concerned. He's pretty simple. So we're gonna kill this crystal gecko and then go through get the items near the swamp. And there are plague babies in the swamp. They're not very mobile. In fact, they're maybe as mobile. Well, they're slightly more mobile than you are in the swamp, because they can sort of disappear and then reappear right next to you. But they have such a short range that they're not too much of a concern. You just don't want to get surrounded by them. So I suggest you constantly move and don't ever get into corners. Pure Sucker Stone, fantastic. Yeah, just always move. Make sure that you have Widow's Lotus on you, a lot of them, and Full Moon Grass, and it makes the area much easier. Because you can actually just outmaneuver them or outrun them, or actually you're just sort of out walking them at this when you're in the swamp. So this wall is very difficult to get over. Alright, I'm worried about getting hit. There isn't much of a worry though, so... Well, no, actually I'm not worried about getting hit, I'm worried about the plague. That's why I have that. So you see, he doesn't... Such a short range that they can't even hit. Oh, I caught the plague. Great, really good gloom armor set there. Plague resistance is fantastic, isn't it? Just always keep moving, and if they show up in front of you, just walk around them. If you want to engage them, it's a little bit of a risk, because you'll be surprised at how quickly your health just depletes between the plague resistance and their attacks. The plague damage and their attacks. It can be quite annoying. So there was a little bit of a panic moment, I guess. I'm just seeing if there are any more items. There aren't. But at the time I probably didn't know or wasn't sure. Crescent Moongrass, which actually makes you invincible for about 7 seconds, so really probably the greatest grass in the game. It isn't. It doesn't actually make you invincible. If anyone believes that it makes you invincible, there's always games like Mario Karts and Mario Party. They're really, they're really good if you're 6, and I highly recommend them. That's Lord Riddell. We've saved him. Yeah, So, he's lucky, isn't he? Okay. So now I'm going to drop things off. Now you can see what it looks like right now. You see how Garl Vinland didn't affect world tendency at all. Killing Black Phantom Garl Vinland does not affect character or world tendencies. So, fantastic news, I guess. Not quite sure what I'm doing at this point. Because obviously now I'd want poison resistance. So the black armor set is very much useful against poison, considering it gives poison resistance, which would counter poison, because it resists poison, so essentially it's a counter. Just trying to be clear, just as clear as I can possibly be, and slightly redundant, and but I think that's one of my finer qualities, or just one that seems to be more pronounced as I go through more and more videos. Okay, so I guess I don't change anything. Oh, maybe I'm going to 5-1 first, actually. Okay. Still, poison resistance is, although this works with the rats, against the rats, I guess. Who I think cause plague. It doesn't really matter, I don't ever get hit by the rats. But in 5-1, so 5-3, the event was Black Phantom Garl Vinland. You have to have killed Maiden Astria, of course. And you have to have Pure White World tendency, obviously, because this is a video on Pure White World tendency and their events. And yeah, he shows up if you have Pure White World tendency, which I think I said and repeated in a different way. And so he'll be there in 5-3. 5-1, there is a ladder that shows up. The ladder leads to Istarel, which is a unique spear, I suppose. And that's what we're going to go get. There are a lot of giant depraved ones, so, be prepared. Which basically means just bring homing solo arrow. Now I figured it's not the easiest place to describe, with the location. I mean, you can describe it but I figured I'd put the walk there. Well, it is a walkthrough, so. Although I think with the Black World, the Black World tendency stuff, I might skip a few walks, but we'll see. We'll see when I get there. So I'm just, looking around, just admiring the craftsmanship. I mean, they really did a good job. There aren't any holes or anything like that. Yep, I did a lot of damage there by jumping on his face. That was all calculated. I mean, a lot of what I do is calculated. Like that shot, I wanted to miss that. It just wanted to. It's another miss that I purposely did. Oh, he's really good at dodging. That is the most difficult enemy in the game, actually. He's a unique, depraved one. His name is Jerry, and he's gotta be careful with Jerry. Oh man, Jerry just hit me. Anyway, Jerry's now dead, so let's not consider him anymore. His name's probably not Jerry anyway, so... I mean, you guys can call him Jerry. I call him Jerry. This is a useless conversation that I'm having with myself. Although then again, these walkthroughs are sort of a conversation that I'm, having with myself initially. I know other people are going to be listening to the conversation I had with my... It's really weird. So, someone said you could use arrows against these guys. It's a fact, you can. It is an easier way, of course. I kind of like trying to get the edge of the blade on them and not get poisoned. So it's just me being weird, essentially. But yeah, arrows, arrows and spells. Anything range is a little bit safer, of course. Or, even long-range weapons are safer than the way I do it, but... it's just a little bit of poison anyway, so... Okay, so there are the rats. Who are really annoying, to be honest. Okay, so the ladder is to the left, right? You can see it? Okay, so we're going to pull Giant Depraved One. Now, the strategy with Giant Depraved Ones, which I've probably talked about in the Valley of Defilement video, is it's another bait and attack tactic. It's very much like how you fight Garl Vinland, except they move. They have more of an area to move in than Garl Vinland. He's always stuck in that. You basically fight him there because he can't go past the area. These guys will chase you down. But it's the same concept. You bait him into attack, but you gotta stay far enough that you're just at the edge of his attack. And then you back up. He will hit the air, and then you can go in for an attack. Try to always get a little bit on the left of him. Do a couple of attacks. Well, attack him a couple of times and then move away. Backwards. Away from him, essentially. In any direction, just away from where he is, and then he'll try to attack you again. And you just rinse and repeat, and it makes them much easier to deal with. Of course, their Black Phantom forms are ridiculous, in terms of health especially. Damage-wise, it's still as... they do more damage, it's just... The damage is just as worrisome a lot of the time, because it takes off... I think it pretty much takes out my entire health bar. So, the concerns is often more about the health, because you'll be fighting them for a longer period of time. Generally, you shouldn't be getting hit by them ever. Oh yeah, and I always keep, I attack them a couple of times, but I keep enough stamina so that if I'm not far enough, I can block. But these guys are getting taken down quite quickly, actually. I guess now I've over-leveled in this area. And if I wasn't over-leveled before. So, right, the Pure White World Tendency event. I think I've said it already, but I'll repeat it because, I don't remember if I said it. Is the ladder appears. So, I've just said that, and I'm pretty sure I said it before. So, I don't feel stupid at all. So now there's 3 of these guys, and it's the same tactics. Be a little bit careful around here, of course. I just try to put as many arrows in them as I can before having to fight them. So this is not really a good baiting. So you see how now I'm baiting? So he's been baited, and then I can go in and attack. Right now I'm confident that I can kill them quickly as well, and that's why I'm not backing up after 2 shots. Normally I probably would back up. But given the fact that they're often at a low health because of the arrows, I only need to trade swings once. Baited and then attack. So you might not even get here, actually. Oh, looks like he will. Alright, looks like he won't. There's Istarel. Yeah, it's a spear, unique spear, and that's it for 5-1. So 5-1 done, 5-3 done. Now we have to go to 5-2. So head back to the Nexus any way you can. If you're not concerned for souls, you can always just commit suicide, of course. And and if you're not in body form, well, I don't know how people are dealing with body form, but you know, if you're in soul form especially, you can always just commit suicide. Souls are pretty negligible most of the time anyway. Like early on they're quite important, but you can get them very easily, essentially. Okay. So I probably want to get the I don't know what I'm looking for. Well, I should be looking for the black armor set. Because I'd like some poison resistance. We've been through this already. I'll just be repeating myself, and you know, I rarely ever do that. So get rid of the gloom armor. I don't know who I'm telling to get rid of it. I mean, I've obviously done this. This is in retrospect. Okay. And now we can head over to 5-2. So we're gonna go meet Selen, or Selen, or whatever her name is, Vinland, the sister of Garl Vinland. I think it's a sister. If it isn't, you know, I don't care. Gonna go meet her, and she'll want the. Well, she's looking for a brother, but you know, she wants the Crest of Vinland, so we can give that to her for the Ring of Devout Prayer. Killing her is not very nice, but killing her will also affect world and character tendency. If you kill her in body form, she will be in body form here because it's pure white world tendency. Pure black world tendency, she shows up in black phantom form, of course. So killing her when she's in body form, your character tendency will be shifted by -2. And your world tendency will be shifted by -3. So of course you're accumulating black and black character and world tendency. So you know, if that's what you want to do, well, you can do that. If you don't want to do that, then you don't have to do that. So there are a lot of choices, and by a lot of choices I mean 2 choices, unless you really break it down in terms. Well, let's not even bother. So we're gonna go through here, which is never I don't really like this area at all. I mean, I can't imagine anyone really liking the Valley of Defilement. It's bleak and it's tedious, but at least a lot of things are. At least all the jellies are dead, so should be a lot quicker. Someone pointed out that there's an island where there's a giant depraved one and a couple of smaller depraved ones to the left. Now, I usually just go there after I've cleared the main island to pick up the items, but you can go there first. It's on the left side, and you know, you can clear. You can pull the giant depraved one from there as well. It doesn't really matter. A lot of it's dependent on how concerned you are with poison. I'm not. But yeah, it is a good position as well. It is a good position. I used it with one of my other characters, and it works well. So it's a good vantage point to use. Although it is slightly difficult to see, well, it's as difficult as to see the giant depraved one from this area. Then you might have to move forward into the swamp a little bit. But I mean, I just pull from anywhere and just try to get back to one of the islands as quickly as I can. So you see how I baited him, and you know he swung and then I killed him. So that's how you're supposed to do it. And stay near, just stay near islands. If you go into swamp, and you get poisoned, just go near an island. Just walk on the island afterward. Take a Royal Lotus. So I tried to roll there and I got hurt. Take a Royal Lotus and you're fine. You know, it's better to. You just don't want to be far away from islands. That's all it is. You know, and if you are, you know, it's better to have a lot of Royal Lotus and other herbs on you, healing herbs. And if you have that, it doesn't really matter, does it? You know, it's just about being prepared when you're going to these places. So of course you can use bow and arrow, obviously. Oh, I think... So she's over there. I think I'm gonna go get... I'm not sure if it was this character or another that I... It's probably this character. There's an item, because last time I think I fell off the boardwalk. So, this is more like a catwalk, isn't it? Well, you know, whatever it is, it's, it runs alongside the cliff. So, and there's an item at the end of it, basically, that I didn't get, so that's why I'm going here. And normally you just jump off, go talk to Vinland, and, you know. Hand over to Crest of Vinland. Alright, so there's the item. So that's probably checking for giant depraved ones, but they're a little bit further on. Black turpentine, fantastic. Well, I was probably also pleased at the time that I bothered. So head over to Selen Vinland. Or not. Well, that's pretty important as well, so. Okay, we finally arrived. So that's Selen Vinland.
Why? You are what I am Selen.
Well, she even says her name. Maybe I should have listened to her instead of just spamming X.
This crest, that is a Vinland heirloom meant for my younger brother. So, my brother.
Yeah, they have. Okay,
Umbasa,
whatever.
I hesitate to ask, but can you part with that crest? Garl has strayed from the path of righteousness. I shall reward you in kind. Thank you. As Garl's sister, please accept this. May the angels Umbasa.
Okay. Oh, Ring of the Valpyrs. I think that's what I've been saying. So, done. That is the pure white world tendency events of Valley of Defilement. So, not terribly difficult. I suppose with the Black Phantom, Garl Vinland will be the most difficult enemy to have to deal with. The environment, of course, is always equally irritating, as it's been in the past. Because the environment hasn't changed, so it will always be. Anyway, I'm getting into the semantics. So that's it, really. This is also the last video for pure white. I said that at the beginning. The next video will be part 1 of pure black world tendency events, because we've completed the pure white world tendency events. Well, I've been LordFussington, and you've been the viewer, as you probably know. Thank you very much for watching. Kindly rate, comment, and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it.